Hello everybody, here Renee from Spain. It's winter, it's February. I'm in the shop, but I'm just in the mood to show a few tapes that I've been listening to in the shop. Okay, so I'm just gonna show like 10 tapes and maybe talk about them a little bit, but that's it. Okay, let's start with the second album, the second full-length album by Rat, Invasion of Your Privacy. This is actually my favorite album by the band. It was released in 1985 on Atlantic Records. And this, of course, is a total classic that you all have for sure if you are into hard and heavy from the 80s stuff, you know, like cool stuff. So many great songs on here. Of course, the single You Are in Love. But I also love the song What You Give Is What You Get. I love that song. You Should Know By Now. That's a great, great song. Between the Eyes. That's a really underrated Rat song, I think. Between the Eyes. Great, great song. Great album, of course. Another cool album is this Lee Roth album. I think it's the third record he released. And this is underrated. Here we have VINNIE Moore is playing the guitar on this album. He also changed a little bit his look. Got a nice J card with all the songs. Lyrics are on here. And this came out, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in '91. About VINNIE Moore, I think he was on the album before this one. Actually, this is the fourth album. Yes, this is the fourth album by him. And this is maybe the least popular of the first four albums. But you have the single She's My Machine. I remember that came out like a single. I have actually the CD single of that song. But check out the song Night Life. It's a really, really good song. I mean, this is just a good album. Only you have to listen to it more than once. Maybe 5 or 6 times, and then it will get into you. You know, it's still a very good album, but not so well known as the first albums. Lee Roth. Here we have Hugh Satriani, Surfing with the Alien. Classic instrumental record. So many great, great tracks on here. It's just, J card is very short. It's a Spanish edition actually. 1993, it's a re-release. Originally this came out in 1987. Nice white tape. Another very cool, nearly instrumental album. There's I think one song where Jeff Cosotto is singing. And I'm talking about the Racing Force Yngwie Malmsteen debut album from '84 if I'm not mistaken. On Polydor Records. Of course a must have. Again I think it's a Spanish edition. Yes, it's a Spanish edition, this. From 1984. Very cool tape. I always like this paper, you know, paper tapes. You know, when they put this paper on it, makes it look very cool, I think. And this is very, yeah, the way they were done in the early to mid 80s. There was a lot of times there were no lyrics with them. You know, on the tapes. Actually, there's only one song singing, and the rest is instrumental. There will not be a lot of lyrics. Same as in this one, there will be not many lyrics on it. Anyway, this is a crazy video. I'm just making it because I have nothing better to do. And for sure, some of you guys, you know, that are into tapes will appreciate this. Plus, I'm in the mood also to show some tapes. This is a very cool compilation with songs from '85 till 1991. Some are re-recorded. Some Cold Lake songs were re-recorded in 1991, or partly re-recorded and remixed for this best of that was released in 1992. And this is Patched with Thirst, Am I and Dying. Strange title. I never really understood. See, also quite cool looking tape this is. A lot of songs, like 9 songs on each side. See, there's not much information, but nowadays on the internet you can check all the information, of course. Also, we have some songs totally unreleased. You only can find on here, but also some B-sides from 12-inch. You know, I made a little paper myself where I wrote down, you know, where each song is from. I always like to do that, to be honest. Okay, now we go on with the soundtrack from the early 90s. And this is the second Wayne's World soundtrack. This is not as good as the first one. The first one is better than this one. But here we have Robert Plant is on here. Aerosmith is on here. They're also in the movie. He wears the t-shirt of Aerosmith. Also we have Bad Company is on here too. Golden Earring from Holland. And Joan Jett. You know, even the Gin Blossoms, you know, that song is quite good on here. You know, they were on this Kiss My Ass tribute to Kiss from '94, I think that one came out. They were on there. And it's nice to see them also on this release. Just typical tape from the early 90s. Most of them were done like this, you know, with the cage, you can look through it. Here we have Aerosmith again, a photo for this taken from the movie. And this is, what's his name of this girl? No, I know her name, of course. She also had a song, I think she had a song in the first part. Oh, I don't remember now. She's not here. It's nearly in. Oh yeah, Tia Carrere. That's her. Okay, then I want to show these 2 demos. I actually have 4 demos by this band, but this week I've been reading an old fanzine where they're interviewing this band, Evoked Curse. And yes, they split up many years ago. But like in the late 90s, they released, in early 2000s, they released 4 demos, limited to 50 copies. And these are those demos. There are 2 of them. See, they came just like this. And this is like a black thrash metal band. And this was their Outburst of Hell demo 1999. There's nothing at the back. It's quite thick, this paper. I'm at work, so I sometimes have to look that way, in case somebody comes in. They think it's a little bit strange, you know, if they see somebody recording. And here we have the Altar of Sodomy demo. If you like very, very old Sodom, you know, from the demo days, and the early EP, for example, I think you should give this band a try too. They were also on a Phantomania release by Metal or Die. You know, Metal or Die, I made a video where I show some Metal or Die releases, a Hungarian label, and they were together with Phantom, I think, on that split CD, Phantomania. And they had a cover song. They did a cover song also for Angel Ripper, the Hungarian one. Hitler a Messiah, I think was the name of the song. But this band, Evoked Curse, they went on for quite some years, because they started actually in the late 80s But till 1999, they released some old demos, but in 1999, that's where you got more serious. And then they released 4 demos, and then they split up. But in 2004, 2005, I think a best of came out, or 2009, like with a CD compilating most of their songs. And this is a great album from 1995, Masquerade by Running Wild. I mean, in 95, 96, 97, some of my favorite albums, heavy metal albums, came out. I'm talking about bands like Gamma Ray, for example, releasing great stuff. Gravedigger, you know, they were amazing back then in the mid-90s. A little later on, Iron Savior came out. Hammerfall, of course. Primal Fear, you know. Sacred Steel. All great, great bands. And Running Wild was one of those bands making incredible records in the 90s. Or Saxon, of course, from England. But this is just very, very cool album. Check the song Men in Black. That's a great song. And Lions of the Sea is another great song. This is just nothing. It's just, so you can see nothing. It's a shame. And this is just the tape. But this is a great release. And the last one I'm going to show. This is a Spanish tape. With 2 Spanish bands from the 80s. Mazo y Júpiter. Mazo was more a band like Barón Rojo. Like a heavy rock band. And Júpiter, they were more kind of a glam metal band, you know, like melodic hard rock with fun lyrics, you know. And they were quite a cool band, you know, like you had quite a few bands like that back then in Spain. But Júpiter was one really with funny lyrics. You also had like Sangre Azul or Niagara, but they were more serious lyrics. But Júpiter, they always made a lot of fun in their lyrics. Melodic hard rock, yes. And this is a compilation. Each, I think, four songs by each band. And this came out in the late 80s. Of course, in Spain only. Nobody knew these 2 bands outside Spain. But yes, it's quite cool to play this once in a while. 89. The Mazo are older songs from 83, 82, 83. And the Júpiter songs are more from the late 80s, mid to late 80s. Okay, I hope you like this this video. It's a little bit just a little different, you know, from the shop. I got this new jacket. See, it's quite nice and warm in the shop. And okay, have a nice week and stay metal, everybody.